Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a very special episode of the Beyond the ARC podcast. I am Rob Howes alongside Josh Stoner. Josh, how are you doing today?
I am doing amazing, Rob. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic as well. And of course, we also have Austin Young. Austin, how are you doing today?
Doing well. Glad to see everybody's doing well today.
Absolutely. So this will be a bit of a unique episode as it's more of a debate episode. What we have done is Frank has written 10 questions for us here. 5 of them we know, 5 of them we do not. We have notes written down on paper, so we're not allowed to look anything up during this episode on our laptops, only paper notes and only for the questions that we knew in advance. So we'll start off with the question we knew in advance, and then it'll be pretty sporadic throughout for which question goes where. But Josh, Austin, you guys ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do it.
I am as well. All right. So we have an iPad here that Frank will be scrolling on to see the questions. And question number 1.
Yes, and before we keep going, shout out Frank for all this great work behind the scenes for sure.
Absolutely.
He might have to chime in on one. We'll see.
Absolutely. And so here we go. Question 1. Big question surrounding D3 sports. Should Division III programs be granted athletic scholarships? We'll start with Josh on this one. Josh, what's your opinion on this one?
I say no. I mean, you look right in the D3 philosophy, and it says pretty much one of the first things in there is student first for student athletes. And I think when you grant athletic scholarships, it doesn't like fully take it away, of course, because the D1, D2 athletes that are getting the athletic scholarships, they're still a student, they're still studying for their future. But I think it puts more of an emphasis on your athletic sport, and it kind of takes away the academic experience. And I think that's a big part of going to a D3 school is just kind of being hand in hand a student and an athlete.
Absolutely. Austin, what are your opinions?
Josh, I basically agree with you. I also do not think that they should get athletic scholarships because it's kind of like you just said. If you give athletic scholarships out, you're focusing more on the athletics and not as much the school, and D3 is about that 4-year experience as a student. And then also, I just think we still get like decent scholarships through like as like being a student in different things that you're involved in. Like I think that's almost better in some ways, unless it's the full ride, obviously. To some extent, I think it's better than even just an athletic scholarship. While it would help, I don't think it's necessarily like game changing. And I think we do a pretty good job at finding like people and like giving them good benefits to give them a reason to go to school at D3 schools.
Absolutely. I agree with both of you. I don't think that D3 schools should get athletic scholarships. A bit of a different reason, though, of course, the academic scholarships and the D3 mission statement, like you said. But for me, for Division I athletes, not even all of them get scholarships. So I know there's Division II, I know there's NAIA, but most of the time, D2, NAIA schools, non-state schools, private schools, a little bit more expensive. But you have walk-ons at Division I schools that if D3 schools got scholarships for athletics along with the academic scholarships that they give, I just think it would kind of take away the whole Division I athlete like mantra almost. Like people want to be a Division I athlete because they are the best athletes in college at the moment, whether they're a walk-on or if they are a scholarship athlete. For the most part, Division I athletes are the best of the best, and I think adding scholarships to D3 schools would almost take away from that.
Yeah, and those walk-ons are still getting like offered to like a spot on the roster, and they're just not getting that scholarship piece right away. And then and especially like for some of those who like go on to be like great players, they end up getting scholarships down the line. Like it's not like the end of the world that they don't get one right away. So I definitely agree with you there, Rob.
Absolutely. So all in agreement here on question number 1. Question number 2, one we have not seen yet. Question 2, should Wartburg change its athletic logo? We're looking at the logo here, talking about the black circle with the W and the word Knights through it. And I will say 100% yes, for a specific reason. Wartburg should change their main athletic logo. as the Wartburg logo that everybody sees that's on all the branding should not be their main logo. Instead, the ones I saw at the regional meet they have on the cross-country black uniforms is an actual knight, and it's a knight that you don't see very often on most school logos. I don't know if any of you have seen that
I think
logo.
I've seen of it, yeah.
Absolutely. And I think that should be their main logo because it's just a little bit better. I like the font of the word Knights and the W. Like, obviously, it's a school that wins so many championships that it's a logo that I feel like it'd be a little bit weird to start off when you change the logo. But in my opinion, I think they should change to their secondary logo and make that their primary logo. What are your guys' opinions?
Yeah, I kind of agree. Looking at it, I mean, the only thing I would think of right now of why not to change it to that night is that because then like you're looking at like the Spartan at UD, they have that secondary logo as well. Besides just the UD logo, it's kind of like what Wartburg has. But I think the knight is a good look, and I think that'd be a good look. Like just like on like a football jersey, you have like that logo right there on like your chest right there. I think a knight right there would look really cool.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. I do actually like this one. For the most part, I think it looks decent. But yeah, I think just the knight would look a lot better, especially for athletics.
Yeah, I think Wartburg, this logo is on the higher end of the American Rivers Conference for logos. It's nothing too special, but like I said, the Knights font in that white is a pretty good font there.
And that's a school that we just went under a rebranding not too long ago. I think when you and I first started going to school here, Rob, that was the first year. It was the like SC with the lightning bolt being as the main logo. Try to get away from that just SC for reasons. So I kind of liked it. I like the change.
Absolutely. I like the change for that one as well. A lot of times modern logos try to be a little simpler. That one, adding the lightning bolt for Simpson, I think really helped there. So that was question 2. Again, all in a decent bit of agreement. Nothing too different between our answers. We now go to question number 3. And for this one we haven't seen yet, it's time to draft our top 3 dorm room snacks. We can't repeat them. So once one is drafted, it is already gone. Frank here creating a wheel to see who goes first. And look at that. It is
Josh.
Not yet. It is Josh. Josh gets to go first, and then we will go Josh to Austin to me. So we will go in a clockwise order here. So everybody gets 3 snacks in their dorm room. Josh, you get pick number 1. And are we doing a snake draft? Or that's okay. Frank says we're just going around normal draft style. So
right.
Josh, what do you got for us?
Mike and Ike's. I just went out like 2 hours ago, bought a giant bag of them. I love those things so much. So that's my number 1 pick.
That's a good first pick.
All right, Mike and Ike's.
That's a good movie snack, too.
Board. We have the taken ones up there on the iPad.
Oh, perfect.
So, Austin, what do you got? Pick number 1.
You know, like those mini pretzel sticks that you can get like in the frozen aisle, like they're literally just pretzel like sticks, like that you get in the freezer.
So
I don't remember the brand of the.
Are you talking about like similar to like super pretzels, where like you
Yes,
get a pretzel
yeah.
at a concession stand? It's like that, but in the stick form.
Yeah.
All right, those are good. Those are good. You get a bit of nacho cheese.
Yes, absolutely,
there.
and a little bit of salt. Yeah,
Definitely. That's a very good answer, I would say.
I have some sitting in my freezer right now as we speak.
That's a good one. I think with my first pick, I'm going to have to go with good old classic Oreos. I think Oreos are going to be my
Double stuffed guy or not?
I like the double stuff, but usually I'm just single stuffed. You get a bit more in the package.
Fair enough.
So
Yep.
I'd go with the single stuffed, but definitely a fan of the double stuffed as well. But I'd go with single stuffed. So first round done. Josh, what's your second pick?
Goldfish.
Goldfish. Ooh,
A specific kind or just the original?
Original.
Okay.
Original's the best.
Original is good. Well, technically cheddar. Cheddar is the best. Original is just like a saltine cracker, but everybody calls cheddar the original. So that's definitely a good pick there. Both of us still have a carton of those in our dorm room right now. But yeah, cheddar goldfish are definitely a good one.
All right, for my second pick, okay, this is going to be specific. This is something I've always had growing up. Is like, so you go to Hy-Vee, right? And you go, there's like spread out like throughout the store, they're pies. They're like $5 for $5. like and they have like chocolate, strawberry, like green apple. I think Josh, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I saw him a little bit ago.
Yeah,
All right.
I like those. Like the chocolate ones are really good. I like those.
All right. I can't say I've ever had those.
I
I'm not
haven't.
exactly.
You gotta try them. They're pretty good.
Positive, but to go off the high V trail, I know Josh definitely may have taken this answer with his third pick. He just bought some of this, but high V churn brand brownie s'mores ice cream.
Oh,
It's a #1 ice cream flavor, probably of all time. We've been getting it a lot in the last month. I think we've gone through about 7 boxes of that, probably through the both of us.
and no invitation from you guys for me is crazy work.
We
No,
can't
okay.
we can't share the brownie s'mores ice cream here.
It's fair enough.
We shared the ice cream cake earlier in the year. We got
That's true.
Josh's
True.
birthday's ice cream cake, but brownie s'mores ice cream has got to be my #2 pick.
Great. That was going to be my next one. Let's see. Probably Hershey's, actually. I love Hershey's so much.
Just a typical king size Hershey bar.
Oh, yeah.
You'd say
Put it in the fridge or freezer, and it's peak.
it's definitely better
Oh, yeah, it
frozen
is.
or
Yeah.
at least cold. You're definitely right about that one. So Hershey's chocolate bar.
Okay,
Austin,
this is gonna be
last
weird.
pick.
You made me think of that. Just like Reese's Puff cereal by itself, like that's pretty good. Like it's better with milk, but like if I have a box of it, I'm just gonna still eat it just by itself. It's pretty good.
That is a good one. Reese's Puffs. I've never been a huge Reese's Puffs guy.
Really?
I like the sugary cereals, but Reese's Puffs I've just never gotten into. Really, never had it that much as a kid. So my last pick, I'm debating between a few of them here. No, there's a few I have in the room right now. I like your cereal. I like Captain Crunch, maybe, but I
The
think
Crunch Berry, or
yeah, with the yellow
Okay,
box.
I like the
yellow box.
the peanut butter ones.
It's good, but
They're all good, though.
I think I am gonna have to go with the blue raspberry lemonade Swedish fish.
Oh,
I
those
don't
are so
know.
good.
Yep,
those are so good.
Way better, far and beyond
Yes.
better than regular Swedish
Yes,
fish, which
1000%.
is an okay candy.
Yeah,
But
it just elevates it.
Absolutely. Blue raspberry lemonade. I tried it for the first time last year.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic addition to the Swedish Fish family, the Sour Patch Kids family.
And an honorable mention, I think this would go across. It might be different flavors for everybody. Is Pop Tarts.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
If you're in a rush to get to class in the morning,
Just
Pop
quick
Tarts.
grab and go.
Yep. Easy honorable mention right there. So that was question number 3, our top 3 dorm room snacks. So next up, question number 4, one we got earlier on. Do multi-sport athletes have an advantage in Division 3? We'll start with Austin in this one. Do you believe multi-sport athletes have an advantage in Division 3?
See, it's kind of tough. There's part of me that thinks they do because like they're staying in shape, getting in the weight room, doing other things. But then part of me is like, it depends on the season. If you're going from like a perfect example on Simpson College campus is Ellie Street, who just went from swim soccer in the fall to basketball. Sometimes I think it helps her. Like soccer is obviously a demanding sport, 90 minutes running up and down a field. So on the basketball court, that helps her immensely, I would say. But no time of resting really for her, just going straight into basketball. Obviously, I'm assuming Coach Nemeth and like her like being here for 4 years have some sort of like way to work it out for her to get some time off and get off her feet for a little bit. So for the most part, I would say yes, but there is like that, like depending on what seasons they're going from. Like in high school, and sometimes here even like throwers or people will do track and football. That's a pretty common like combination. I did that in high school. I just threw shot put, and it just like helped me stay active in the spring and just like do different things.
Absolutely. Yeah. I disagree with you on that one. I'm going to go with no. For the D3 level, I think, of course, you mentioned Ellie Street, fantastic at both soccer and basketball. But I think outside of like track and cross country, which is the same sport basically, I would say no, mainly because you train year round for your sport in college, where baseball right now, for example, baseball's been practicing, they've been hitting in the batting cages since they got to school. And they don't play their games until, March, maybe late February.
So, yeah.
And it's a year-round thing, and you're always working on that sport. So that's why I would have to say no, because you're always still staying in shape. High school, on the other hand, completely the opposite. I believe multi-sport athletes in high school, great thing. I think being a multi-sport athlete helps you throughout the year just stay in shape for other sports. You might have one main sport, but I think in high school overall, being a multi-sport athlete is an advantage. At the D3 level, I think the opposite. So, Josh, what do you think?
I actually disagree with you. I think it is. They do have an advantage. It is a bit complicated because, especially like the Ellis Street example, you're going from a fall sport to a winter sport. I mean, it's not a lot of off time, and you probably have lifts that overlap. You're more likely to get an injury. But I think kind of on a broad spectrum of it, they're just competing more, they're training more. So like physically and mentally, they're always more prepared for competition. And I think at the end of the day, that's kind of what makes them the better athletes. I think I only know of two here at Simpson, Cassie Nash and then Ellis Street, who are dual sport athletes, and they're two of the best on both of their teams. So I think that's kind of my reasoning, just because they're more prepared. I mean, obviously you get prepared from practicing, but it's just a different type of preparedness between practicing and actually playing games and competitions.
Yeah, and I know a couple on the football team. Eli Fox. He does track in the spring, as well as Brandon Griner, and I don't know if he does it anymore, but Griffin Barons used to do it. I don't know if he still does. I think he does, but not 100% sure on that. But yeah, there's a couple of them like that case, and I think we can all agree, if you're going to do it at any division NCAA level, D3 would be it. You couldn't do it anywhere else, without a doubt.
Absolutely. We saw RG3 do it in college.
We're seeing Ben Cooter somewhat do it now.
We saw Ben Keeter do it at Iowa for a year. We saw Brody Breck do it for a year at Iowa, but eventually you just go with that one main sport. RG3, he was a very good track athlete at Baylor, and of course a very good quarterback as well. But I think, yeah, like you said, if there's a place to do it, it's definitely the D3 level. So next up, we have question number 5. What fast food chain deserves 5 stars across the board? This one, not a draft. We have one food chain. Repeats are allowed. This is a tough one.
This is tough. There's so many.
There's a few good ones. I've got one on my mind right now.
I do too.
I think this is one, once Josh gets it, we should all say it at the same time and then elaborate on our answers.
Yeah.
I think I've got mine.
Okay.
Josh has got his. Austin's. Do you have yours?
I'm ready to defend my answer because I'm definitely going to have to.
Okay. I think I know what you're going to go with right now. I'm not going to lie to you. Josh, I'm not quite sure, but
I think I know where you're going.
I might know what Josh
I might know where you're
well,
going.
But we're going to do it on 3. All right. 1, 2, 3. Chick-fil-A. Wow.
Yes.
I thought you were going
Canes.
Culver's.
I thought Josh was going Culver's.
I was
being
thinking
from
about
Wisconsin.
it. Yeah.
Let's be honest, Frank would take Culver's out of anybody for sure.
Here's my knock on Culver's and Canes, because they're both 4 stars for me.
Okay.
The French fries. Of course, at Culver's,
That is such a valid point, though.
At Culver's, you get cheese curds. 100%
Yes,
of the
yeah.
time. Pretzel bites if you're not feeling cheese curds, but you rarely get fries when you go to Culver's. You splurge that little extra $1.50 to get the cheese curds
It's
or
so
pretzel
worth
bites.
it, though. So worth it.
Canes, the fries aren't as important, but it's still always going to be there on your plate. And although Canes chicken may be better than Chick-fil-A, 50-50 on that one for me. Their sauce, I think, is the best sauce there is.
Oh, yeah.
Canes, and then the toast, of course, as well. But Chick-fil-A, I don't think there's a negative aspect to it. I always get the 12-piece nugget with some Polynesian sauce and Chick-fil-A sauce, get a good cherry Coke, and I get fries with it. And all of it is just amazing.
Yeah. So my order is like the box combo. It's like 4-piece. And then I don't get the coleslaw. I get the extra piece of toast because there's no
that's the right
charge
way
for
to
that
do it.
extra piece of toast. And then their sweet tea is unbelievable. I love their sweet tea. I know, like, we have a friend who also loves their sweet tea. He's the one who told me to just try it one day, and I loved it, and that's what I get every time now. I just love, like, you get everything, like, out of it. The chickens, obviously, I think is better than Chick-fil-A, in my opinion. The Chick-fil-A I went to the first time, it wasn't a great experience, so that kind of knocked me down for Chick-fil-A, and then the toast, obviously, is just, it's the toast, like, However, I would like a little more variety out of Cane's. I think if they had like a nugget or something like that, that would just elevate them even more. But and then you said the fries. That's why I eat them first. Get that out of the way. Get it to go or something. That's the thing. You have to eat it either there or like right away, because then those fries just get soggier and soggier as you sit there.
Absolutely. And thing with Cane's though, like if they take away just the chicken fingers, they wouldn't be as fast. They're probably the fastest out of all the fast food places because it's just you make chicken tenders as people go through the door. They say how many people walked through the door. They just put chicken tenders on. They have everything made, ready, still hot, still fresh, but yeah, it's that quick. And I think if you add more variety, I think it takes a little bit away from that. Then Josh, same thing for you pretty much?
Yeah, I love Cane's so much. It was tough between Cane's and Culver's because I love the concrete mixers from Culver's, but I think overall Cane's is just superior. It's so good.
Absolutely. I think another thing for me with Chick-fil-A, their shakes, fantastic.
Their shakes are
some of the best
good.
shakes that I've ever had.
That is fair. So I'll kind of turn this question the other way too. What changes her to 1 star?
A 1-star
I have mine.
chain.
I have mine easily in the bag. I know my 1 star.
Let me think. I don't know if I have any true 1-stars that I've actually eaten. There's some I've heard that aren't very good, but I've never had them.
While you're thinking, I can.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna say Burger King.
Burger King. You see, I think Burger King gets a lot of hate. It's not very good.
It's just the ones in Des Moines.
You also worked at McDonald's, so you get that. Bit of a rivalry there.
Yeah, but that doesn't do too much. Even it was even before I started working there for like a summer. I mean, just the ones in Des Moines aren't very good.
That's fair. Yeah.
If you go to a good Burger King, I feel like it's better, but like I still just don't think it's that good.
And Frank brings up a great point. The Burger King Whopper, 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 Whopper song.
When the song is the best part about your joint,
that's
though.
True. That's a very good
but
point.
you can say that about Cane's and their toast at the same time.
Yeah, but that's at least a food.
That's true.
That's at least a food. The Whopper song is just an advertisement. I don't know. I'd say my least favorite fast food chain that I've had is Arby's. But it's not.
Their fries are amazing.
It's not 1 star because of the fries.
Okay.
The like their sides are okay. Like the fries are good. Mott sticks are pretty good. That's about it. I worked at Sonic, so
Sonic's a great spot.
It's gone down for me a little bit just because I've worked there, which that happens for everybody. Fantastic place though. That might be a 5-star for me if I hadn't worked there. They have pretty much everything you could want from a fast food place.
Sonic's unbelievable. We went there in Minnesota, us managers, when we were spending the night at Crown. That was fun. That was a good place to eat.
Yeah, that's a good one. Josh, you have a 1-star?
Honestly, I haven't even been to many different fast food places. I'll probably just say Arby's. I think I've only been there like twice in my life, but the one time it was decent, and then the other time I went like probably 10 years ago or something like that. It was not good. The fries, even the fries there were...
Did you get the regular or the curly?
Curly.
Oh, okay.
And even then, I was like, I feel like these could be a lot better because I've heard better.
They are overhyped. I will say that. They're not a top 3
They're still
fry.
decent. Still decent for sure.
But yeah, definitely a good option there. I think any sub place as well, you could just make your own sub for a lot cheaper, would be on my honorable mention for a 1-star.
The only place that I'd say does not deserve a 1-star is Jersey Mike's, but because that place is so
They credit
amazing.
themselves a little higher end, though. On
Yes.
on the deli meat
But I
side.
wouldn't consider them fast
Right,
food.
exactly. All right, so next we'll get to question 6. This one we had before. What school should the American Rivers Conference add with Luther's departure?
You got to start this one. We've already both started one this time.
All right, so I'm starting this one. I've said this since the day not since the day they announced Luther was leaving, but since the day they announced there was a big announcement. Me and Frank both thought of a school that would be
I think we're on the same page here.
most likely to be in the conference to compete, not be too much of a drive, and that is Augustana College in Rock Island, Illinois.
Yep, that was my answer.
Not the one in South Dakota, but
Not the D2 one.
no. Augustana College, I think, just makes the most sense. They have to travel up to the Chicago area for most of their conference. I wouldn't say most, but about half of their conference is in the Chicago area. So a long drive from Rock Island. They'd only be about an hour away from Dubuque. They're about 2.5 hours away from Indianola. Cedar Rapids is pretty close for Co. BV and Nebraska Wesleyan would be a long drive, but that's a long drive for everybody right now.
Yeah.
Not too bad for Wartburg, not too bad for Central. I think Augustana would make the most sense in this conference right now.
I 100% agree. That was actually my answer as well. And I think it makes the most competitive sense too. I think if you went north in Minnesota, like the MEAC is just like, I think they have some really good programs, and just like, I don't know, like they would obviously be at the top in ours, but then if you went to the UMAC, I mean, you're just replacing with another Luther, if not worse. And then if you go like, I think Augustana is like the perfect. I'm thinking football, but I know they have decent programs in other sports. I mean, we had a great game with them. I would love to see them play Wartburg or Co. or Central, or even UD when they're having a decent year. Like, I think that would be kind of fun to see, like them play against that. Obviously, other CCIW teams would be a little more rocky, I think. I mean, with teams like North Central, if you added them, I mean, they're going to be dominant no matter where they go.
The thing is, I think in football, the CCIEW is so top-heavy with North Central and Wheaton.
Yep.
And I believe Augustana finished third in the conference this year, maybe fourth, but they had a very good season. And I think my biggest thing on this one is name a sport that Augustana doesn't play an ARC school in the non-conference.
Exactly.
I don't know if you could name one, because Simpson plays them quite a bit. I know Loris and Dubuque play them a decent amount. I'm sure Co plays them in most non-conferences, kind of like Cornell, but Cornell was in the Iowa Athletic Conference, and then they left. Same with Grinnell. You can't just take them because I don't think they'd join the conference. No. I think Augustana makes the most sense. And like what you said about the MIAC, that doesn't do too much
travel wise. That doesn't make sense,
because you get rid of Luther and just add another school way up north for a lot of teams to drive through. Josh, what are your opinions on this?
I 100% agree with. Basically, I was going to say exactly what you did, Rob. We already play them in a ton of non-conference sports, so why not just add them? And like, they make the most sense both athletically and academic. Like, you look at some of the South Minnesota schools like St. Olaf, Gustavus. I mean, they just think they're so much better. They're kind of like a Grinnell. They're really well academically esteemed. And so Augustana honestly just makes the most sense out of anybody even close.
There's one negative about it. Of course, Simpson last year played Luther on the most unfortunate day possible, Leif Erikson Day, as they are the Norse, the Vikings of Augustana. If you play them on Leif Erikson Day, you're not going to win. Of course, Leif Erikson Day from SpongeBob. You get the reference. You get that one. But you definitely don't want to play the Vikings on Leif Erikson Day, just like you played the Norse, and it would be in the conference season for both soccer and football.
I didn't know what route Josh was going to go, though, because you were actually working on this for a class project right now, like working on different, like, realigning this conference. We had it a little tougher when we took this class, having to redo all of the Midwest Division III like conferences, which Rob actually did. They did a really good job on his group. But yeah, I thought you would go a different route. Maybe see if an NAI school would come down like you are doing in your project, from what I'm being told.
The thing about that, I didn't want to do the NAI schools for that project. That was one of my partners for that. He kept wanting to bring the NAI schools. I said, no, absolutely not. The only other D3 school I considered was Knox, because I know we also play them in a couple non-conference. But at the end of the day, Augie just makes the most sense by far.
And I think the thing with Knox is if you bring in Knox, you'd rather just bring in Monmouth, a little bit farther of a drive, if even, for everybody, but better competitive-wise in almost every sport. So, and Monmouth won their conference in football this year, still not a great conference in the Midwest.
Where are they
conference.
even in?
They're in the Midwest Conference where Luther will be going. So,
that'll be interesting for them. Then.
Yeah, I think Luther, from a soccer standpoint, will do very good in the Midwest Conference.
Oh, yeah.
Tennis as well. Of course, you got Lake Forest in that one, so another very good school. But, yeah, that's our opinions on. We think Augustana would be the best team to add to the American Rivers Conference. So next up, question 7. Another one we've already discussed a little bit. Me and Josh more at the helm on this one, but should the NCAA have a promotion relegation system in soccer? And Josh, you're the soccer guy here. You got this one.
Absolutely not. I think it's a terrible idea. it would be so difficult to regulate, like how are you determining who goes up? Is it, the top 4 finishers at the NCAA tournament? Is it the top team from each individual conference? Like, I just don't know how you'd configure that. And then also for the relegation side, like the only thing you'd have to go off of is their record, maybe head-to-head results. But like, if you, like BV, they finished, were they 0-8 or were they 1-7 this year in the conference?
In the conference for
soccer,
men's soccer, I believe they were 0-8 on the men's side.
Yeah. So is that, if you're 0-8, you're last in your conference, is that what gets you to go down? I don't know. It would just be so hard to govern. And then also, I mean, pro soccer in the U.S. doesn't even have a promotion relegation system at all. It's just each individual tier, and it would just make no sense.
Absolutely, and I have to agree with you. I think the main discussion, I don't know if it's truly being discussed seriously right now, is at the D1 level for doing this, but there's 2 words that I think totally ruin this whole idea. Transfer portal. You get the transfer portal, a team gets relegated, their best players are gone and moving to a team that's already up in the highest division. And it would just be useless. You'd get players transferring up to the highest division. It wouldn't matter what team they're on. You wouldn't be able to recruit if you're at a lower division because nobody would want to come and start off at a lower division, and nobody good enough to play at a higher division school would be. And I just think it's a terrible idea. Austin, not as familiar on this. What are your opinions on it?
Yeah, it sounds like from what I've gathered about what this means, I think it would be a terrible idea because, like, I just don't know who would have the time to be every year going through. Like, I'm just trying to, like, I know it's asking about soccer specific, but I'm just trying to imagine, like, doing it at a football level. I mean, like, that'd be incredibly hard, and like determining what's good or what's bad. Like, I don't know. That'd be kind of tough, especially like with that Buena Vista example that you mentioned, Josh. I just don't see how that could work. Obviously, I know it's like in the like MLS and like the Premier League and Championship League is like how they do that, but like, yeah, I just don't see how it would work.
Yeah, so
he's got the gist of it. He kind of understands what we're talking about. I think you'd have to totally take away the conferences. You just have to have everybody play whoever they could. You'd have to have a longer season, and I just think it'd be a terrible idea. I think the NCAA should just stick with how they're doing it right now. So that's our opinions on the promotion relegation system. Next up, question 8. If you had to get a tattoo over Thanksgiving break, what would you get? Josh, the one here with tattoos. So you'll go last here on this one. Austin, if you had to get a tattoo over Thanksgiving break, what would you get?
So it's going to be like on my forearm right here, and it's just going to be a cross, and like maybe my favorite Bible verse, Romans 8:1 on the bottom. That's the one I would get, like even if it wasn't over break. Like that's just the one I would get if I ever like had the chance to. I just love that look of a cross on as a tattoo with a verse on it. I think that just would look good.
Absolutely. I have 2 ideas. One, just the pretty much word in the same font, believe, from Ted Lasso. Not really watched the show, but that's what our cross country coach in high school would always say to us. Like that was what he put on the back of the shirts the year after, the word believe. So that'd be a good one. But also, I'm totally blanking on what Bible verse this is, but at Lorisall Sports Camp, this is one of the Bible verses that is part of the paddle books, but it is never let the fire in your heart go out, keep it alive, serve the Lord. As it's just like, stay happy in life, just keep going forward. If times get difficult, be happy, find a bright spot. So just whatever verse that is, I'm totally forgetting. Romans 12:11. Romans 12:11 for that one. So
if not, I was going to say we could call her Alexia to see if she knew, as she is going to school to study to be a pastor eventually after she graduates. So.
Absolutely. So Josh,
I'll have to quiz her later.
Josh, the tattoo man himself, what would you go with?
I'm stuck between 2 ideas. I think the one I've been wanting to get for a while is a quote from one of my favorite songs. It says, "Give it some time, life is all right." I think that's just, I don't know, a really good message in general. And And then the other one, another quote from another one of my favorite songs. I don't know how it would go though, because it's my favorite song of all time. That one is, and so honestly, every single line in that one kind of just speaks to me. So I don't know. It's tough. I think I'd go with that first one though.
Real quick, are you wanting people in the comment section on YouTube to guess your favorite song there? One of your favorite songs based off that little bit of it? Or you just
first
wanna tell
one
us?
is Post Breakup Beauty from an album called Blush over the summer. And then the second one, my favorite song of all time, is Pirate Radio by Gene Dawson.
Interesting.
All right. So, yeah, Josh, the only one here.
Josh, don't get too motivated after this.
Josh, the only one here with tattoos. So he is the tattoo master there. And so, yeah, so those are the tattoos we would get. Next up, the question we have all been preparing for the most. We'll still have one more after this. This is the last one that we knew beforehand. And question number 9, draft the 4 faculty or staff here at Simpson College you would have on your basketball team. So you're on the basketball team, you get 4 more. This is in their prime, and they cannot be affiliated with the basketball team. And I get the first overall pick. So hype. Once a player is gone, they cannot be reused. So my number 1 pick at the top of my list, give me the one staff member that has played Division I basketball on this campus, 6'2" from Dartmouth, President Sue Stubner.
Great
Of
job.
course,
Great job. Yep.
the number 1
Absolutely.
pick has to be
Yes.
the number 1
Yes.
pick. Division I women's basketball player at Dartmouth, went on to coach a little bit after that before now the president of Simpson College. So we'll go clockwise once again. And Josh, who's your first pick?
Rafi Polanco, women's volleyball assistant coach. He played,
Oh.
I believe he played D1 volleyball, and he is 6'5", athletic demon. If he plays volleyball, he'd be good at basketball. So that's my number 1 pick.
Okay.
Just a disclaimer on this, we can use superlatives as well. Like, I don't really know a great example without giving one away that I have that I will be taking eventually. I believe will be my next pick, but Austin, what's your first pick?
Okay, so I'm going to get him off the board in case you two want to try to sneak him out later. I'm going to take Dr. Matt Garrett as a big man down low. I think, obviously, we know he coached Division III basketball and obviously knows a lot about it. I think he would be, in his prime, I think he was probably an absolute legend at basketball.
Absolutely. Dr. Matt Garrett, I had him on my list eventually in case he wasn't taken. I figured one if you would take him.
I figured one of you two would,
pretty
but
early.
was getting in that late. Yep.
So my next pick, another professor that, Josh, I don't think you know that he played collegiate basketball. From Bethel College at Kansas. We found a picture. It is proven, and I have a superlative for this one. Professor Mark Siebert on deadline day, man. Doesn't miss a deadline. Mark Siebert.
Oh,
And
that's
Frank
amazing.
has the picture right there.
That's
Of
amazing.
Mark Siebert playing basketball at Bethel in Kansas. So Mark Siebert, Director of Student Media here at Simpson College. He's my second pick. Josh, you're up next. I took Mark Siebert from you. I assume you
did.
had him on your board at some point.
Next up, I am going to say Professor Taylor Vargo, specifically
Yes.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday
Yep.
in our 9-10 class.
Yep.
That's a good
Great.
pick.
That's a great pick.
Professor Vargo, psychology professor, Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Technically doctor. She doesn't like to brag about it too much, but she
Yeah.
did just graduate her doctorate program over the spring.
Absolutely. At 9-10, and is that Psych 101?
It is,
Psych
yeah.
101. So that's Josh's second pick. Austin, round out the second round.
All right. I'm going to give this man a big shout out. He's done so much for this college, and in his prime, I can only imagine how he was. I'm going to take Simpson College's athletic director, Marty Bell, off this board.
Absolutely. Marty Bell retiring from sports after this semester. He has done so much here for Simpson College, gotten so many new improvements to athletic facilities, the new gymnastics facility coming up as
And all the
well.
coaches too, not to mention like all the staffs. Like obviously, football, obviously bringing in Coach Hoskins has been obviously a great job, and then this year on volleyball, bringing in Coach Lynch and obviously Coach Nemus being here. I don't know if he was here before.
He's been here for
Nemus?
40 years. So,
Okay,
so
so
yes,
no.
yes, he has, Austin.
All right. Well, anyway, just a great man and just knows a lot about what he's done. And yeah, big thanks to him for everything he's done as he's on the road to retirement now.
Absolutely. So next up, I've got a couple that I'm confident with. This one I can almost guarantee you neither of you had on your boards because you might not know who this man is. But this man also doing a lot for Simpson College. He came in last year. Mr. Ken Coder, the Director of Dining Services with Sodexo here at Simpson, was a 6'4" tight end at Penn State, played under Coach Joe Paterno.
Really?
Is the Director of Dining Services here at Simpson. We're getting the new Pfeiffer Dining Hall all completely renovated. He's a chef. He came in last year. The food quality increased, in my opinion, and the more consistent dining services now here at Simpson. So I'm going with Ken Coder as my second to last pick. Yeah, I think that was a steal because neither of you knew about him.
Yeah.
And I interviewed him for a story in the Simpsonian last year, and that's where I found out that information because I was wearing an Iowa shirt, and he said, well, I'm a Penn State fan because I went to Penn State, played football there for a little bit. So he looked it up. He was a tight end, or number 93 under Coach Joe Paterno back in 1980. So got Ken Coder there. I still have a few more that I could go with. We'll see if Josh or Austin take them here with their third pick.
All right, my third pick, I'm going to go with cross-country coach Heath Monk.
Oh,
that was my next pick. That would have been my next pick.
Need I say more? Cross-country coach. He's got the endurance to just do it all on a basketball court. And he also is pretty tall, right?
He is very tall.
Yeah.
I believe 6'5", maybe also 6'4". And he, if you go to team camp for cross country, you can see he can shoot. The man can shoot. He's a good play. He's a good shooter. And yeah, that's a great pick. That's a fantastic pickup by Josh. Austin, you're up next.
Okay. I don't know if you guys are going to think about this. I believe she played basketball in college. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm just thinking, I know she can move and can, I think, shoot pretty well. I'm going the athletic training side. I'm going to take Rebby, the head athletic trainer.
I didn't even think about the
Yeah.
athletic trainers. That's a
Yep.
great pick.
Yep.
That's a fantastic
I don't want to
pick.
buff her last name. I just, it's like Kim is or something. So
Yeah, Kinsey, I believe.
Kinsey?
Yes. Oh, that's a great pick. Okay. I know who I'm going to go with here.
Oh, boy.
This man, today in our class, taught us how to do a line dance and moved better than I've seen any man move in a line dancing brain break, his staple, former athletic director, got to be lethal from the charity stripe, got to be lethal from downtown. It's Mr. Bob Nutgrass.
Oh, great pick.
He is fantastic. I have a couple more here. I'll give honorable mentions after they have gone if they don't take either of them. But yeah, I think Bob Nutgrass, he just seems like he'd be automatic from the mid-range. Just a fantastic.
100%.
Like if he's open, just shoot it right away and it's going in.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think Bob Nutgrass would just be a fantastic pick. So Josh, who's your last pick?
I'm going to have to go with the head of security, Chris Furix. If he is the head of security, nobody is getting the ball in the basket over him.
That's a great
fair.
point.
Great
That's a
point.
fantastic point. Have you ever? Do you know what he looks like, Josh?
I do.
Okay.
I know what he looks like because my car got hit the other day, so I had to go to him.
I did forget about that
Yep.
one. Yes, that's a good pick. That's a fantastic pick, Austin.
All right.
Your last pick.
All right. I don't know if you're going to expect this one. He also was a former athletic trainer here at Simpson, and now he is a health and exercise science professor. I am going the great Cal Busby.
Cal Busby is a fantastic pick.
It is.
Fantastic fourth pick.
Sneaky.
And before
Mr. Irrelevant pick of this.
Absolutely, Mr. Irrelevant Cal Busby in this draft. Before I get to the honorable mentions, I believe we could all say if this was done last year, we would have all had our number one pick as President Jay Byers, former President
Yes.
Jay Byers. He was a
Yes.
basketball player here at Simpson. I think we can all say
yeah.
guaranteed would have gone with him for our
Yeah.
first pick here. But I have some honorable mentions. You guys
I have a
can
couple
go
as well,
too,
yep.
as well. First one, I'm going to go with new professor of health and exercise science, Jennifer McKay. I have not had her. I don't know if either of you have had her, but she has coached many sports. She has competed in both half marathons and marathons and has completed RegBri 7 times. Said that on her Simpson bio. I feel like just
7 times.
fantastic
Holy
athlete. That'd be a great one. And then my last honorable mention, I'm going to go with Coach Ashlyn Burton, the throws coach, fantastic thrower. Just her strength alone could make her a great basketball player.
Yeah.
Great post. Haven't seen her shoot a basketball, haven't seen her play basketball, but I can definitely see her definitely being
Yeah.
somebody on one of those teams. Josh, you got any honorable mentions?
I've got 3. 2 of them are for the same reason. My first honorable mention, the Janet, of course.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I don't know this girl's name, but the shorter girl that works at SubConnect that usually is taking
Yes.
orders.
The one who is like, can I take your
Yep.
and she starts off with you.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
The way they dish
Chloe, I think.
out, okay. The way they
think.
dish out food and orders, they'd be dishing dimes on the basketball court.
Absolutely. The fastest workers that
Yes.
we see, she'll get the line moving at SubConnect
Oh, yeah.
during
Oh, yeah.
lunchtime. Fantastic pick there.
And then Janet's just
Janet,
a
of
legend.
course. It's
Legend.
Janet's the best.
Janet from Tyler's. Fantastic. And then what's your third one?
I don't know if you guys will know him. David Fauché, the world language professor. He's like 6'4", 6'5". I don't know. I feel like he'd be a great basketball player just because of his height.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely a good one there. Austin, your honorable mentions?
Okay, first off, I'm going to shout out the football program and our DB's coach, Coach Anthony Roberts. I've seen him hoop. He can hoop. I was if Cal wasn't on my board, he was probably going. And then Frank, who knows this, you all know him very well. I feel like if you train him up, you have to train him up a little bit. But if you can get Matt Hansen on the basketball court,
That's a fantastic
Yes,
one.
it is.
Yes.
yes.
Absolutely.
And then
I think basketball IQ after a week would be the greatest of all
Yes.
time.
yeah, you just have to I think you would have to train him just a little bit. I don't think it would take too much. But then lastly, Frank and Rob are gonna know this one. Now you have to think of her in her prime.
I know exactly who you're going with.
I'm going with honorable mention in her prime, Ann Wolt.
Yes. Prime and Wolt. That
She
is
can
actually
s-
not who I thought you were going with on that one. But
Who did you think I was going with? We can mention it now.
I thought you were going to go with Lisa Carpinelli on that one in her prime, in the
right.
newsroom,
Yeah.
on fire. But yeah, Ann Wolt, that's a different one.
in her prime, I feel like she could be like a quick, nice point guard. I feel like she could shoot. Like
I think that's fair.
yeah,
I
and
think
then
that's fair.
I had another quick one. Professor Nikki Whalen. I feel like could be
Yes.
that's just an athletic family.
I was thinking about putting her on my list as well. Yeah, she's definitely a good one. All right, so those are our starting 5s or starting 4 along with us. So yeah, that's just fantastic picks right there.
one more.
And now we have one final question. Question number 10. This one we do not know. And we're waiting. What's the best Thanksgiving food? Of course, Thanksgiving week. Have to talk about our favorite Thanksgiving food. I know Austin probably likes all of it, but Austin,
Yes.
what's your favorite?
I don't know. I'm not going to be basic and say turkey. I'm actually more of a ham guy. I mean, turkey's decent, but that's tough. I don't know. If done right, potatoes with gravy and was the turkey, was it like I don't think it gets better than that.
Yeah, the
Or the
turkey-
rolls, but
the
like
turkey
the
over
rolls
the
are
mashed
so
potatoes.
Like,
Are you saying? Like,
mashed potatoes.
That's really good.
Like either homemade or like I don't know the brand, but it's like the 3 cheese mashed potatoes. Either of those two with gravy, and like it doesn't get better than that.
Absolutely, yeah, that's good. I have a hard time going against the mashed potatoes with gravy. I think it's very difficult to go against the mashed potatoes and gravy for Thanksgiving. I think corn is good. I think popcorn with jelly beans, if you're going Charlie Brown style, is also very good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think mashed potatoes with gravy, at least with my family, my grandma makes very good mashed potatoes. She makes even better cheesy potatoes at Easter and Christmas Eve, the best potatoes I've ever had. But yeah, I think mashed potatoes and gravy for me is the staple. Josh, what's yours?
And if you're gonna go the green bean casserole route, do not say hot dish. We will get into a side debate.
It is called a casserole, not a hot dish.
I don't know. I love it all so much. I'm always the last person at the table by probably like 15 or 20 minutes because I have so many plates of food. I don't know. I don't want to be basic and say mashed potatoes, but I feel like that's my answer.
Or a good mac and cheese, like baked mac and cheese.
I know.
Yes, a good baked mac and cheese is good. It 50-50 on whether people have it at Thanksgiving.
Oh, we do.
But
We
yeah,
do.
a lot
always
of
do.
times we sometimes do. I think we've started to the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Is what we've done.
And
Josh.
then another shout out for my mom. She makes great like cookies and cream or Oreo fluff, as we call it. And like with the double stuffed Oreos, as we mentioned earlier, it is so much better. If you're gonna make it, do it with the double stuffed. Anybody who like, it's so much better. Frank can attest, as she's made it before when he was staying with us last summer. It's so good.
Yeah, going off that, my mom makes orange fluff with marshmallows, and it's so good. Me and my brother usually have the entire bowl, and it's like a bowl this big. We have the entire thing on Thanksgiving. It's that good.
Yeah, my mom makes a really good chocolate pie with chocolate pudding and vanilla pudding, but
Yeah.
it's like more of a chocolatey, and she makes graham cracker pie crust.
Yes,
and
that's the
with
way to do it.
The
Way
whipped
to do
cream
it.
and then like chocolate shavings on top. Best Thanksgiving dessert. I'm not a huge pumpkin pie fan.
No,
I
not me
like
either.
pumpkin bread, pumpkin roll. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any food that's always at the Thanksgiving table that you don't take? Either of you?
Probably the green bean casserole. My mom will make it, or like scallop corn. I'm not too much on the scallop corn personally, but yeah, that's something I won't ever really touch. That's all my parents. She makes a smaller dish for them because she knows I won't eat it.
Yeah, usually I'm not a stuffing fan. I'm
not
I just
either.
don't
Nope.
like the stuffing.
I'm with you on that.
Stuffing
I'm
is
with
not
you on that.
good, and Frank is very mad at me right now for saying that.
I'm
because
with
the
him, though.
stuffing,
I'm
it's
with
not
him, though.
great. I also don't like cranberry, so the cranberry sauce
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of. But
We don't really make that.
I don't like stuffing. It started in elementary school when we'd have like the Thanksgiving Day meal at school. The stuffing was so bad. The meal itself was fantastic.
That was always one of the best days of school.
Absolutely, but the stuffing just not for me.
Frank,
Josh,
don't even look surprised.
Josh, what's your opinion on this?
I don't really have anything I dislike. I usually carry 2 plates of everything with me. Probably Brussels sprouts. I don't know if you guys have those at Thanksgiving.
Not at Thanksgiving.
But, I mean, I kind of like Brussels sprouts, kind of don't. Last year, my grandpa, who, I mean, he doesn't know how to cook like toast. He can't cook anything. He asked what those green balls were. We told him Brussels sprouts. He tried one and spit it out all over the table. And he looked at my grandma and he was like, well, you're as bad of a cook as I am. You don't know how to cook these. And it was
That's just
a whole
how they
time.
are.
It was a whole time.
Yeah, and another great one that my mom makes is her Jell-O with like the fluff on it, like the parfait part of it. The parfait just makes it so much better. And then my mom and I like to have some fun with our Jell-O when we eat it. Just like it's a like secret thing we do. Like when we like scoop it out, you can like this is how like childish we are sometimes
I'm
with
scared.
our food. Like when like the first scoop, you can like if you scoop it up slowly enough, you can like make like a fart noise. If she's watching this, she'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Like
The sad thing is, I think I know what you're talking about.
yeah.
I ate Jello quite a bit as a kid.
She
Yeah,
did it.
You figured it out.
It started with her doing it as a kid to make her dad upset because he hated when she would do it, and she's passed that tradition on to me. So we'll see what happens in the future if my kid eventually ends up doing that because of me. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens there in the future. But yeah, she did it and has passed it on to me. And we get very judgy faces from my dad every time we do it. And he's like, okay. He's just trying to enjoy his food. And then like we obviously have football on in the living room with our kitchen being like right next to our living room. But we'll have it silent to make my mom happy. Because while she loves football, she's not like as into it unless it's the Chiefs. Because she's a big Chiefs fan.
Absolutely. So the fart noise with the Jello, a fantastic way to end this episode. And it was a fantastic episode of the Beyond the ARC podcast. Next week, we will get you a full recap of everything that has happened in the American Rivers Conference, along with Wartburg, hopefully Co. When this comes out, you'll know if Co beats Concordia, Wisconsin. At the time we're recording this, we don't. But hopefully there will be a Co game and a Wartburg game next weekend. But
and happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
absolutely. Happy Thanksgiving. And for now,
I'm Josh.
I'm Austin.
and I'm Rob. And that's how you do a podcast
The D3 way.
Beyond the ARC is an independent podcast and is not affiliated with or endorsed by the American Rivers Conference.